Hello and good morning, beautiful people. Today, we're starting this vlog off right with some really great news. Come on. We did it. So real quick, let me give you a rundown of what happened. The main thing, at least for movement, were these guys. So when you pull them back, it allows you to manually push the mower just in case it dies or whatever, which is really important because you can run out of gas or whatever. And then the second reason was behind the carburetor. So I'll show you in another shot, but the idler was all gunked up and it could not open and close, which is something me and my neighbor fixed. So check out this little clip here of him riding around. So big shout out to him. Really appreciate his help. He's been awesome. So that's the good part, good news for the day. Unfortunately, now we have to work on the bad stuff. So you guys will probably see me again in a few days, but I wanted to show you something real quick before a part comes that I just ordered. And this is very frustrating, but I guess this is life, especially when you have older tools. Look at this problem I've got going on here. I just cut about half of my backyard and I noticed the left blade wasn't cutting. I kept looking back and I kept seeing strips of grass. So I looked underneath and I found out my spindle, essentially, it's completely dead. So I had to order a new one. It's a little frustrating.
So where are you playing this game?
Hi, bud. I see you with my toes. Here's my handy dandy, reliable tractor that I've been cutting my grass with for probably 6 or 7 years now here in a previous home. And the spindle on the left side finally broke. The new one finally arrived. And unfortunately, I gotta take out the old one and replace it with this one so I can keep cutting my grass. So hopefully I have no issues. I had already loosened it from when I was cutting the grass before, so it should come off fairly easily. So here's the challenge. I've got 4 screws, 1, 2, 3, and there's a 4th one back there. I have to get them all unscrewed. Pull this guy up, pull the blade and this part down, and then I gotta put the new one in. And I can't strip these because I'm assuming I'd have to go special order them or something. I don't have time for that. It's already been like a week and a half, 2 weeks since I cut my yard, so I gotta get this done. I gotta get this off too, so I can get the blade and put it back on. You ever have to do this? Half inch is the winner. Kind of doing this blindly because I can't really get up underneath it here. It is moving though, which is good. I'm always worried with this kind of stuff that it's gonna strip or the head's gonna break off or something because it's, this mower is probably 15 years old. My father-in-law has this saying, when something gets to a certain age and it's done its job, maybe it's essentially paid for itself. He says, that thing doesn't owe you nothing. All right, I got the first one. All right, got all 4 of them. Now we got to get this guy out. So I think I'm going to lower that back down and then hopefully lift it up pull it out. So here we go. Look at that thing. So you can see, oh my goodness, look at this. There's obviously a lot of stuff. That's crazy. Oh my goodness. Look at that. Look at this metal. Just, obviously there's some grass and stuff, but like, look at this. This thing, it literally just like exploded. It's just disintegrated into little teeny pieces. That's crazy. So that's what happened to my spindle. Yeah, awesome stuff. So now it's time to put in the new one. So one thing I want to do real quick, I want to try to get this off before I install the new one so it's ready for that. Thank the Lord. Whew. I was getting nervous there for a second. Phew. All right. All this junk can go in the trash. Yeah, I guess I should see if it works on these threads. Didn't even think about that. Oh, perfect. Okay. Whew. I'd be nervous for a second there. I really don't want to take the spindle off, but I don't know if I'm going to get it in here without doing that. I don't want to take the deck down either. I'm being lazy right now, all right? Cut me some slack. All right, so what I ended up doing is I took the bolt off this front area and just let the connector for the cut deck fall down. So I can get right here and do this. All right, so I wanted to show you guys something really quick before I actually screwed it back in, just to give you an illustration of what was going on with this. When the thing blew up, and if you look under here, look, there's still a bunch of stuff from it on the ground I need to clean up. This was literally inside of it. It's crazy. When the spindle essentially exploded and broke on me, the whole inside fell apart and the spindle dropped down about an inch. And this belt, instead of spinning at this height, was spinning down here, and it was rubbing against the spring and a bunch of other stuff. So now that it's at the right height, fingers crossed we won't have any more issues.
You sure about that? You sure about that?
Let's get this bolt back up and get the blade back on.
Going. These are my house shoes, man.
I'm about 2 hours into this now, almost 2 hours. And there's a lot of stuff I'm leaving out because it seems like every single time I fix something, something else happens. So I'm gonna briefly show you guys what happened, where I am, and then I'm not gonna bore you with this stuff. I'm just trying to get this done at this point because I need to cut my grass. So I got the spindle on. Well, unfortunately, I didn't put the brake in the right place. The brake is supposed to be on this side, and this is extremely tight, so I don't want to try to get that off. This took an hour to get on, so I don't want to loosen those. So I'm trying to take this off, but this screw is super long. So once I get this off, I can at least put it on the other side and then just tighten it back down. Once I got the spindle on, I realized that the belt was caught underneath here, this part, and I couldn't get that out, so I had to loosen this just to get this around to go around the proper way, which is good now. And I'm like so close, but now the brake's messed up, and I just want to get this done.
Just a ringing in my ear, and if I heard you,
So after almost 3 hours of work, what kind of felt like wasted time, but hopefully it's fixed. I'm exhausted, but I'm gonna see if I fixed it or not. All right, now that it's just about lunchtime, I have to stop working, even though I literally haven't done anything yet. So the spindle has been replaced. I have the blade back on. I believe I fixed the brake properly and everything else that was going on with it. So I'm gonna go ahead and start it, and we're gonna look to see if the blade and the spindle are properly spinning and actually cutting grass. All right, here we go. All right, I'm exhausted. It's not perfect, but at least it's working, kind of. So that's enough lawnmower stuff for one day. On to the next thing.